Virgo, there are goodbyes that happen in stages, not the clean kind, with closure and conversation and mutual understanding, not the kind where both people walk away knowing it was right, knowing it was time. A different kind, the kind where one person has already left emotionally, internally, long before the other realizes anything has changed. You may know this kind of goodbye. You may have lived it, reached a point where something inside you said, enough, enough waiting, enough hoping, enough giving pieces of yourself to someone who could not hold them. And quietly, without announcement, without fanfare, you began to let go. There is a particular weight to this kind of release. It does not arrive with anger, though anger may have been present. It does not arrive with drama, though drama may have preceded it. It arrives with quiet, with exhaustion, with the simple recognition that you cannot carry someone anymore, cannot hope for them anymore, cannot keep yourself open to someone who keeps walking away. Some people may be carrying this weight now. The weight of having let go, the weight of having chosen yourself finally after choosing someone else for too long. The weight of knowing it was right, even as it hurts, even as part of you still wishes it could have been different. And then something shifts, something you did not expect, something that arrives not in the moment of your letting go, but after. After the decision has been made, after the distance has been established, after you have begun to rebuild yourself in the space they used to occupy. They notice. They notice your absence. They notice the silence where your voice used to be. They notice that you are no longer waiting, no longer hoping, no longer available in the way you once were. And something in them, something that was dormant, begins to stir. There is a pattern that sometimes appears in these situations. A pattern where the person who took you for granted only recognizes your value when you are no longer offering it. Where the person who is indifferent becomes obsessed only after you have stopped trying to earn their attention. Where the person who walked away suddenly cannot stop thinking about what they left behind. You may be witnessing this pattern now. Not because you sought it, not because you wanted revenge or proof or validation, simply because you chose yourself, and in choosing yourself, you became someone they could not ignore. Their obsession begins after everything. After you've stopped checking your phone for their messages, after you've stopped replaying conversations, searching for what you could have done differently, after you've stopped hoping they would become who you needed them to be, that is when they start to feel it. That is when they start to want you. This is one of the cruel ironies of human connection. That presence is often undervalued until it becomes absence. That the person who was always there becomes most visible only when they are no longer there at all. That the heart sometimes only recognizes what it had when it is gone. You may be seeing signs of this now. Small signals that something has shifted in them. A message that arrives after weeks of silence. A question about how you're doing that feels different from casual concern. A mention of a memory, a moment, a detail they supposedly forgot but somehow remember with perfect clarity. These are not coincidences. These are the stirrings of someone who is beginning to realize what they lost. They may not say it directly. They may not have the words or the courage or the self awareness to name what is happening inside them. But it is happening beneath the surface, in the quiet places they cannot escape. You are there. You are everywhere in their mind now, in ways you never were when you were present. There is a particular quality to this kind of obsession. It is not the obsession of new love, fresh and hopeful and full of possibility. It is the obsession of regret, the obsession of what could have been, the obsession of someone who is only now seeing clearly, only now understanding what they had, only now realizing that they let it slip through their fingers. They replay moments you probably don't even remember. A conversation where you were patient with them, a time you showed up when they didn't ask you to, a look you gave them that they barely registered at the time but now cannot forget. These moments play on repeat in their mind, each one a reminder of what they failed to appreciate. They think about who might have your attention now. This is part of the obsession that arrives too late. The wondering, the imagining, the jealousy that has no right to exist but exists anyway. They think about someone else hearing your laugh, someone else receiving your care, someone else being the one you think about at night. And it eats at them, quietly, constantly. You may not know this is happening. They may hide it well. They may act indifferent, unaffected, as if your absence means nothing. But beneath that performance, something else is unfolding. A preoccupation they cannot control, a longing they cannot satisfy, an obsession that grows in the space you used to fill. There is a reflection worth considering here, not about whether they will eventually reach out, eventually confess, eventually try to win you back. That may or may not happen. The reflection is about what their obsession means for you, about whether you need it, about whether their recognition arriving after everything changes anything. Because here is the truth that is difficult to hold. Their obsession now does not undo their indifference then. Their wanting you now does not erase the times you wanted them and they were not there. Their regret does not heal the wounds their absence caused. Some people may find themselves torn by this, torn between the part that always wanted them to care, finally seeing that care arrive, and the part that knows it arrived too late, the part that has already done the work of letting go, the part that cannot simply forget what it cost you to get here. This is a tender place to stand. The place between being wanted at last and no longer wanting in return. The place between their awakening and your healing. The place where you must decide what their obsession means to you, if anything. They may want to tell you things now. Things they never said when it could have mattered. confessions that have been building in the silence since you left. Words like, I didn't realize what I had. I thought you would always be there. I took you for granted, and I hate myself for it. I see you now, too late, but I see you. You were the one who actually cared. And I didn't know how rare that was. These words may come or they may remain unspoken, trapped in a throat that has forgotten how to be vulnerable. Either way, the feeling behind them is real. The obsession is real. The regret is real. But real does not mean it deserves a response. You are not obligated to receive what they could not give. Not obligated to open the door just because they are finally knocking. Not obligated to return to someone who only values you in your absence. There is a particular strength in this. Knowing is less than has hone. 5# is greater than the strength to recognize that their obsession now is about them, not about you. It is about their awakening, their regret, their realization. It is not about your worth, which existed long before they recognized it. It is not about your value, which was never dependent on their seeing. You were worthy then. When they ignored you, when they took you for granted, when they failed to appreciate what was in front of them, you were worthy. Your worth did not increase when they finally noticed. It was always there, always complete, always enough. Some people may be learning this now. Learning that their value does not come from being chosen, does not come from being wanted, does not come from someone finally recognizing what they should have seen all along. It comes from within. It always did. And this learning changes everything. It changes how you receive their obsession when it arrives. It changes what you require before you even consider letting someone back in. It changes the kind of love you will accept going forward. Because now you know you do not need to be recognized to be valuable. You do not need to be chosen to be worthy. You do not need someone's obsession to feel complete. You already are. You always were. And if someone wants to be in your life, they must meet you there. In your wholeness, in your worth. Not as someone desperate for their attention, but as someone who knows their own value and will not settle for less than it deserves. The person you are letting go of. Their obsession is beginning now. After everything, after you stopped waiting, after you chose yourself, after you became the one who walked away, and perhaps that obsession will manifest in ways you notice. Messages that test your boundaries, appearances designed to cross your path, questions from mutual friends, disguised as casual, designed to gather information about you. Social media attention that seems accidental but isn't, or perhaps it will remain internal. A private hell they cannot escape. A constant awareness of your absence. 1,000 moments when they think of reaching out, and 1,000 moments when they stop themselves, knowing they have no right. Either way, it is not yours to carry their obsession, their regret, their awakening. These are theirs to hold. Yours is the healing. Yours is the forward movement. Yours is the life you are building in the space they no longer occupy. You may wonder if you should respond, if they reach out, if you should give them a chance to explain, to apologize, to try again. This is a question only you can answer. There is no right or wrong, only what is true for you. But if you are considering it, consider this. What changed? Not in them, in you. Are you responding from the place that always wanted them to notice you is less than #0? 5# is greater than. Or are you responding from the place that knows your own worth and will only accept what honors it? If they have truly changed, if their obsession is not just the panic of losing you, but the beginning of genuine transformation, that will show over time, not in a single message, not in a dramatic gesture, in consistency, in patience, in understanding that trust, once broken, must be rebuilt slowly, carefully, with no guarantee of success. Some people may find that they have already moved too far to go back, that the letting go is complete, that even if the person they once wanted finally wants them in return, something in them has closed that door. Not from bitterness, not from punishment, simply from having traveled too far down a different road to turn around. This is not failure. This is growth. This is healing. This is the natural consequence of choosing yourself when someone else would not choose you. There is a particular peace in this place. The peace of no longer needing someone to want you. The peace of being complete in yourself. The peace of knowing that their obsession now, however intense, does not require a response from you. You can observe it from a distance. You can acknowledge it without being drawn back into it. You can even feel compassion for their struggle without making it your own. You can hold all of this and still continue forward, still continue healing, still continue becoming who you are becoming, the person you are letting go of. They are beginning to understand what they lost. They are beginning to feel the weight of your absence. They are beginning to realize that you were not replaceable, not ordinary, not someone they could simply move on from. And this understanding will shape them, for better or worse. It may lead them to growth, to change, to becoming someone capable of appreciating what they have before it's gone. Or it may lead them only to regret, to obsession, to a longing that never transforms into genuine evolution. Either way, it is theirs to navigate. Yours is the path ahead. Yours is the life waiting for you. Yours is the future that does not depend on their awakening. Some people may be ready to fully release now. Not just the person, not just the hope that they would change, but the need for their recognition, the need for their validation, the need for them to finally see what they missed. You do not need them to see. You see yourself. That is enough. You know your worth. That is sufficient. You are building a life that honors you. That is everything. Their obsession may grow. It may intensify. It may become something they cannot contain, something that spills out in ways they cannot control. And you may witness this from the distance you have created, or you may never see it at all. Either way, it does not change where you stand. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer hoping. You are no longer available to someone who could only want you after you were gone. You are here, now, whole, moving forward. There is a reflection worth carrying with you about the kind of love you will accept going forward, the kind that does not require you to disappear to be valued, the kind that sees you while you are present, not only when you are absent, the kind that chooses you before you walk away, not after. You deserve that kind of love. You always did. And now you know it in a way you may not have known it before. Now you can require it. Now you can recognize it when it arrives, because you have known its opposite. The person you are letting go of, their obsession is beginning. After everything, and you are beginning a new chapter, beginning a new relationship with yourself, beginning to discover who you are when you are not waiting for someone to see you. This is the gift hidden in the letting go, not their obsession. That is incidental. The gift is you. Returning to yourself, choosing yourself, becoming the one who stays, even when others leave. Some people may be ready to receive this gift now, ready to stop looking back, ready to stop wondering if they will finally want you, ready to stop measuring your worth by their recognition, ready to simply be whole here. Enough. If you are ready, the path is before you. It does not require their obsession. It does not require their regret. It only requires you, your steps, your choice, your commitment to yourself, the person you are letting go of. Let them go fully, completely. Let them have their obsession, their regret, their awakening. It is theirs to carry. Yours is the freedom. Yours is the future. Yours is the life waiting for you on the other side of this release. Go. Not toward them, not away from them, simply forward into yourself, into your own becoming, into the person you are when you are no longer defined by who wants you or who doesn't. That person is waiting, and they are worth everything.